good afternoon and happy Wednesday to everybody out there.
Yeah, happy hump day. Hope y'all have had a nice first half of the week. We are, of course, tracking some changes in the way of temperatures. So let's get looking at our satellite radar. It's quiet, though, so that's really good news for us.
Yeah, it's quiet for mainly everybody. The only areas that it looks like they're getting a little bit of pop-up showers this afternoon is farther out into our Delta communities. So let's say Issaquena, Sharkey, and Humphreys in the northern end could see a tiny little shower come through, but for the majority of us, we're expecting mainly dry conditions when it comes to today.
Yeah, very insignificant, if anything, and that's all thanks to that surface trough back to our west, causing a little bit more cloud cover and certainly some increased humidity and moisture today. Nothing crazy oppressive, but we are going to see those a little bit higher.
Yeah, for sure. And then when it comes to the majority of us, what we're actually having for our area is just a high pressure out to our northeast, bringing in the winds and keeping the majority of us dry when it comes to today. So it's a current look right now at our temperatures in the metro. It's mostly sunny conditions, few fair weather clouds, but it's 89 degrees, feeling like 91. So our dew point, it's in the mid-60s. There's a little bit of humidity, but it's not oppressive, thank goodness.
Right, yes. Anything over 65 technically, of course, is muggy, whenever we break down our muggy meter, but overall, comparatively, it's not bad. We're not going to have to deal with the oppressive humidity. It only feels like 91 right now, so we're tacking on a couple extra degrees for that heat index, but really not too bad. And our high temperatures, they are going to be warming back above average today. 91 in Jackson, 92 in Vicksburg, and 90 in Macomb. So we're all going to be right around, if not a little bit above average.
Yeah, and just mostly sunny conditions, what we're expecting as well. And then overnight, it's actually cooler in the mornings and below average. So that's the one nice thing if you're one of those early birds, getting out the door early and everything. It feels good as you step out, especially with temperatures in the mid-60s. Really can't complain about that.
No, yeah, that's going to feel nice. I mean, I wouldn't say chilly, but certainly cool in the morning and with comfortable humidity. You can maybe trick yourself into feeling like it's fall, but the problem is the afternoons. Those are going to stay a little toasty for us with those temperatures back in the 90s. So a reminder again that we are not done with summer here in the south.
Not quite done yet. I know because it's been feeling good earlier this month and as we went into the end as well of August, but unfortunately the heat just came right back to our area.
Yes, exactly. But we are going to stay dry, so that's the good news. If you want to get out and about and enjoy the weather, if you're a fan of the warmer weather, we are going to see sunny, dry conditions, not only for your Wednesday, Thursday, but into Friday and the weekend. Now, sure, a stray shower is possible, but those chances of rain are going to be very insignificant. We're not tracking any organized systems that's really going to bring us any type of decent rain accumulation.
Yeah, for sure. So if you like it being drier and stepping outside, of course, it's good for you. However, for some of us, it's not going to be as good because one thing we are going to be concerned about is drought conditions. Now, we get this update every Thursday, so the new update will come out tomorrow, but for right now, 59% of the states under those dry conditions and 25% moderate. And most likely, when we get that updated drought map, I'm going to assume that areas are going to get a little bit worse.
Yes, absolutely. So certainly, the farmers out there and even those that are watching their own landscaping in your backyard, you want to water and water because this is likely going to worsen. Like Roberto said, we're not seeing a tremendous amount of people under moderate drought, but still 25% is not great, and that's likely going to worsen significantly. That will spread probably over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and it's looking like for next week right now, there are some areas of concern farther out to our northeastern parts of the Magnolia State, and that's basically just all due to rapid drought. When it comes to next week as well, we're having a similar weather pattern to what we got right now, drier conditions and temperatures in those mid-90s. So with that going on, not a ton of rainfall headed our way. That's one thing we can always assume here is just the water level is going to start to slowly, gradually decrease.
Absolutely. And one other thing that we are tracking too, the big picture, is that we're not expecting much of any rain as we head into the next several days because of the upper levels of the atmosphere. Also very, very high pressure is what's dominating the central U.S. right now. The high pressure is going to continue to push closer to our neck of the woods, and that's really acting as a heat dome. Probably not what anyone wants to hear right now as we want to get in the fall spirit, but this is certainly what we're dealing with, that warming trend over the next few days, and not much relief in sight because we're not tracking any big changes.
Yeah, nothing at all. And those temperatures, it's going to be rising up into those mid-90s for this weekend. And that's going to feel, unfortunately, warm and hot outside as you're stepping out the door. I know a lot of people, of course, we got Friday night lights going on and stuff like that. Luckily, they'll be later in the day, so once that sun sets, we know those temperatures will start to drop down. But during the middays and everything like that, it's just really going to be a little bit unbearable, which is how hot it is.
Yes, definitely hot. The good news is we don't have to worry about extreme humidity, and that will save us from having to deal with those dangerous heat indices. So we're not talking about any heat advisories or nothing like that, but our humidity is going to be in those 60s, those dew point temperatures rather, in the low 60s and even the upper 50s, which is technically pleasant. So yes, we're going to be in the mid 90s, but it's really not going to feel too bad. Now, certainly under the sun, hot in the afternoon, but once the sun goes down, and even like we were talking about in the morning, really comfortable in those, dawn and dusk hours.
Yeah, it's definitely going to feel a lot comfortable. So the one nice thing is, yes, like Gracie was saying, just lower humidity levels. That always is, of course, a positive side to, of course, with temperatures in the mid-90s.
Right.
Yeah, so now we'll
trying to
switch
find
things
the
up.
silver lining.
Exactly. Now we'll move on to our tropics, and this is the weird part. We have no development right now through the next 7 days expected, and right now, it's our peak, September 10th. That's the peak of hurricane season.
Climatologically, statistically speaking, this is the most active time that we see at the Atlantic hurricane season. So we'll count it as a blessing for sure that we're not tracking any imminent storms, impacting not even just the Gulf Coast, but nowhere in the Atlantic. So, but we're not totally out of the woods. Like we've been saying, people may start letting their guard down. We haven't had many impacts or named storms this year, but we're not done. The end of hurricane season is not till November 30th.
Yeah, so we have plenty of time when it comes to hurricane season, and you could see once we get into the later end of the season, it's a gradual decrease compared to the beginning, where it's like significantly you start to see a lot more disturbances ramp up and everything like that. But of course, for right now, we're looking all right.
Yeah.
Anything changes,
we'll take it.
We'll give you an update if anything comes and pops up. So we'll quickly recap that 8-day forecast. It's pretty simple. We're going to see mostly sunny conditions, morning lows in the upper 60s through this weekend. Those temperatures keep climbing into the mid-90s.
Yeah, copy and paste forecast. Honestly, once we get to Friday, we do not see much change. I mean, we're going to see a steady warming trend through Thursday, Friday, but then we're in the mid-90s, and each morning we'll feel those lows in the upper 60s. So a comfortable way to start the day, but then a pretty hot way to end each afternoon. Again, we're not tracking any significant rain, so enjoy the sunshine, but make sure to get those sprinklers going because it's going to be dry.
That's the one concern for sure. All right, well, y'all have a good rest of your day, and of course, Chief Meteorologist Ken South will have another update later tonight.
All right, y'all have a good Wednesday. We'll talk to y'all again soon.